Yo,
What's going on?
Yo,
so welcome. I'm back in the building, folks. It's been a long time since I've been on the podcast. If y'all were with us a while ago, a couple of years ago, it was Amplify the Podcast, me and your boy Jamel. But now we got a whole new crew. We love Jamel. We're gonna bring Jamel on here. But now, whole new crew, whole new show. This is a Kid from Brooklyn podcast, and I am your host, a kid from Brooklyn. I'm Ant. And then we got Coco in the building. Coco the Don, Coco Chanel, Miss Chanel over there. We got Steven, Steve-O, nephew in the building with us today. All right. So this is the show, and we're gonna take this one, we're gonna ride this one all the way out. Y'all gotta make this big. Follow, subscribe, like, share. You're gonna find us next week on YouTube. You're gonna find us on, if y'all do what y'all supposed to do, on our own Facebook page, not mine. And you're going to find us on Apple Podcasts and wherever you can get podcasts. All right. So, first show, I think it's a wild topic. Um, y'all know how I feel about Black folk.
right.
First, let me tell you who these great people are. So, I, in the middle here, in the middle box, I met this weirdo when she was in 11th grade. One of my former students, and I'll say it, she will say that she's my favorite student. I got people that'll fight over that.
Like, come on, like they're gonna be mad
Um,
when they watch it too. They're gonna be like, "Dang, like I can't believe he just said that."
but that's the fave. It's I taught a lot of kids, um, but but she got the spot.
Right.
So, and then there's the nephew, my actual nephew,
Mm-hmm.
my guy Steven. And we're gonna do this. So let's get to this. All right, here's the topic: is everything about race? All right, let me set it up for it. Um, I think everything's about race. I'm gonna talk about it. I don't care where you are, education, finance, anything. I think it's all about race. Sports, all of that. Steve is laughing because we had a little conversation about this. I think everything comes down to race, about black and white. I don't care what it is. As a matter of fact, if you eat a piece of chicken, it comes down to race. Let's be honest.
Do saying anything. Me personally, I don't think it's about race. I don't think everything is about race.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't.
society puts it that way, but my own personal opinion, I don't think everything's about race.
So, go ahead, Steve. What are you gonna say? Because I
I mean,
know it's just me. I'm a one man band.
I could see how race could play a factor in certain things, but at the end of the day, I don't think every single thing is about race though. Like,
Right.
but status could be sometimes, but sometimes it's who you know as well. Not always about race.
I'm gonna disagree with y'all, and I get to disagree because I'm the oldest, which means that means I know the most. So don't listen to them.
That just means you're kind of old. That don't mean like
You're gonna get here one day. So all right, let's put it this way. You tell me something that does not come down to race.
hmm, I think something
Personally, I
that
mean, depending on the work setting you might be in, it's not always about race.
It's not.
The better man may get the promotion, but sometimes it can be about race, depending on if it's a corporate situation. We talking about a mom and pop store. There could be differences, and what plays a factor in you moving up the ladder. I don't. So that's why I don't particularly think it's always about race. Like,
So how did you get to your job interview?
I
me.
mean, I went online, I applied, and the things that qualified me for the job, he hired me on the
Now go
spot.
further than that, right? How does a person get to the scenario where the choices they have for applying for a job isn't are in front of them,
Mm,
right? Do how many of us go out and apply for the CEO position? How do you get there?
That don't got nothing to do with race though.
You sure?
Yeah.
All
If
right.
you have the right qualifications for the job,
Okay.
then you're
So
more than likely to get hired.
how'd you get the qualifications? You had to go where first?
Well, I
I
work at
mean,
Shake Shack. I applied, and I did an interview, and I got my job, and I worked my way up. But I don't think race played a factor in it. Like my general manager, she's a black woman, you know.
So why'd you apply to Shake Shack, right? But you didn't apply to Goldman Sachs. You didn't apply to Chase, right? You didn't apply to all of these corporate places. Why?
Because I didn't have the qualifications. I don't think I had anything to do with my race.
I'm about to say she could have felt that she just didn't have the qualifications for that at the time.
Because I've
So
been
both of
working there
y'all
since
had to
high
go to
school.
school, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And where'd you go to school?
Stanford High.
Okay. And where'd you go to school?
Greenwich High and Stanford Academy.
Greenwich High, Stanford Academy. So would you agree that both of those places spend different amounts of money on kids?
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay. Would you agree that both of those places have different economies
Yes.
and different opportunities?
Yes.
Would you agree
yeah.
as a black kid growing up in Greenwich that even though you had access to all these things, you still got treated differently and you still got looked at differently in school and they still gave you sometimes what they didn't give to other kids that didn't look like you?
That's a fact. I can agree
So
with that.
then did that set you up for the whole trajectory of where your life was going?
Mm.
See,
Gotcha.
y'all talk about race in the moment, right? But how does race played a factor in what your education looked like, what your opportunities look like, and how you got exposed to those things? Let's say you had the money to go to
Is
Greenwich
education
Academy.
is education everything? Because that's the direction you're going in.
Not, it's the qualifier, right?
Yeah.
It's the thing that opens the door, right? If I look at your resume and it's like, yo, oh well, you went to I'm not knocking Bridgeport, but I'll use Bridgeport since everybody think it's a bad place. Like, oh, you went to Bridgeport,
Now
or
you're definitely Dr.
you
Bridgeport.
you lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn, right? And you went to Erasmus Hall when we were growing up. Like, come on. It comes down to the opportunities you get always come down to where you live, and it always comes down to your race. Yeah, there's black people that live in Greenwich. It's black people that live in suburbs, have money, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah, you one of them.
I'm a poor teacher.
He live in Greenwich. He got a big old house. It's what? How many acres you sitting on?
I'm a poor teacher.
I wish I could like put your house up here for them to see it. You lucky I'm not the host. I would have did it with a quickness.
See, it's always about race. It's always your own people. It be your own people. Nah, but y'all out here telling me now it's not about race, but at the same time, um, Stephen, you was just talking about something that happened in White Plains.
Right.
So tell the people.
So whoever if you I don't know if you're familiar with the Ferris World basketball tournament they do every summer in White Plains. Um, so I guess the other day, and I'm not exactly sure how long they've been doing it. I think like 40 years or something like that. But the other day there was a shooting after the tournament, and the city of White Plains decided they got to shut it down. But I was on Facebook looking at the comments under the news article, and we had a lot of people just like talking crazy, like, "Oh, this is how they act. You can't give them nothing. This is why you keep monkeys in a cage. This, that, and the third." Like, and to me, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, you know, the whole like, I call them the keyboard clan. Like, they find something and then they just jump on the opportunity to show their true colors. But I don't think that's with everybody. Like I said, there was whites up there as well saying, this is not about that. There's other ways we can find a solution. It's not like this happens every year here. This is one of the first instances in years of them having this tournament. So why are we just, oh, blacks this, blacks that? It's not really about that. Like, find better solution, like more police, whatever you want to do, more security. That's what they really could have did, in my opinion, as opposed to shutting the whole thing down.
Wait,
Hold
Chanel, did
one
he just
incident.
call them people the Klan?
Yeah, that's the keyboard clan. That's the keyboard clan for sure.
He did.
You just
He
call
did.
them people the Klan. It ain't
That's the
about race, they
keyboard
the
clan.
He'll
Klan.
get us
That's
canceled
the
before
keyboard clan. Right.
he'll get us
They at
canceled before
home.
we air.
They don't wear white hoods, but they be they be up there typing and talking crazy. Like,
At home behind their sheets like this.
They
right.
do.
So, all right. So, I mean, but talk about that, right? So, you saying yes. I mean, you have the whole thing. Yes, there are good white people, right? There are white people that have black friends. I know. Um, but at the same time, look at what you saw. Take that and put that on Caitlin Clark, right? We argue about this.
You know what?
Caitlin
I was
Clark,
gonna use that as an
yeah,
example. Like, yeah, I was gonna use that as an example, like, cause you know how Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they just always compare like that. That's a huge race thing, but that's not like everything to me. You know, I don't know what other example. You've heard of the show Love Island, right?
Right.
If you
yeah,
have, if you have, you live under a rock or something. Yeah, it's a really good show. You should watch it.
yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good. I'm telling you, it's good. It's drama filled, all that. So there was a situation where there was a Arabic girl and she was showing her emotions, and then the two black girls started showing their emotions, and then they started to get like a little microaggressive with them, on social media and stuff. Started saying like, "Oh, this is how the average black woman acts." It always just um going above and beyond, and I guess she's just doing too much. What she did exactly what the Arabic girl did. So I think in a way society makes it to where everything is about race, but to me personally, I don't think, like how my life is going right now, I don't think everything is about race, because I'm doing pretty damn good.
You're doing pretty good. All right, so you can't do pretty good and it be about race?
Yeah, but then you said something about race earlier, like a job opportunity or something like that. Like, I don't think stuff like that has anything to do with race.
All
I
right, so
think
look out the window. Where you live?
right now I'm in Glenbrook.
Right now you're in Glenbrook.
Yeah.
Okay. So look out the window. Who you see around you?
Indian across the street. The
Not
neighbors
for
is
real. Like, you know what? You
oh,
wild. You wild for that.
you asked who I see across the street.
But who's in the neighborhood?
Who's in the neighborhood? All types of people. It's a little diverse over here. You want me to say
All
white
right,
people? I'm not gonna
so
say that
where
though.
where where do most people live, right? Do most black people live with black people? They live with white people, they live if white people come into the neighborhood, what do we call that?
What do you mean? What do we call that?
What do you call it when white people start coming into black neighborhoods? What do you call it?
Gentrification.
So now here's the problem with that, right? Does gentrification have to do with race? I'm gonna speak for y'all
Um,
side for a second.
hmm,
Look, let me help y'all.
you want me to
Gentrification,
say yeah, but I'm
but
trying to.
but
I'm
not
trying to
no
do.
no. I'm gonna help
I'm
you
trying
out
to love to
because
argue with you. So
gentrification is an economics term, right? It doesn't have anything to do with race on its face, right? It
Mhm.
literally is displacing poor people with money. Basically, I'll just give you that
Yeah.
generic definition. But now let's talk about it. Why do we say it's about race? Because who has the money and who doesn't? Who gets displaced? Oh, you smiling now because now you're starting to get it, right? So who brings the money in and changes?
Sometimes
Like
I
go
just
to
like to
Brooklyn,
argue with you, though.
but go to Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
If
it's
you if
it's
it's
different over
nothing
there.
like it was,
It's
right?
different over there.
All the culture's gone. It's a whole different thing, right? And it goes all the way back to this idea of colonialism, right? Everywhere people go, we still live under this colonialist system.
Hmm.
And so when you tell me it's not about race, colonization has always been about race. It's always been about Eurocentric thought and all of that coming in and replacing everything else. And it's always been that. So when you say, "Oh, it's not about race, everything not about race," come on, go to the doctor. Tell me that's not about race.
I don't think so.
So your black doctor is going to do the same thing as your white doctor in terms of how they treat you, or talk to me about how black women die more often in the care of white doctors than they do in the care of black doctors,
Oh, I didn't know that.
or how it is when black women say that they're in pain, that white doctors treat that like it's nothing. And I'm not saying it's every white doctor, I'm not saying that, but more black women are just told to go home from emergency rooms, or if they're in pain during childbirth. More black women die in hospitals because of negligence, because of being ignored, than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, if I go to the doctor's office, I definitely would prefer a black doctor. But then if I don't get one, I'm not gonna, you
You're gonna
know,
go to the doctor, yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna like ask for a black doctor. I'm gonna just ride with it. Like I
but
don't,
why not?
I feel like you're making me switch my answer a little bit. I'm just trying to stand on what I'm saying because I
Oh,
don't want
you
to do
mean
that. Yeah, no, it's too
you
early for that. We're only 15 minutes in. I need more time to make up my mind.
all right, so let's take it generically. All right. Tell me the places in your life that you feel like race didn't do something or race isn't a thing.
My job.
Why not?
Because when I got moved up, it was just because I'm a great employee.
Okay, so clearly, I mean, you could work your way up, right? As
Yeah.
a black person. All right, true. But is there a ceiling? Is there a limit?
So
See,
are
this is
you
why I'm
talking
on
about
the
this?
fence about this. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm saying like I don't. Are you talking about a ceiling for where I'm at right now at work, or
No,
is there
just in
like
general. In
general?
general,
No, there's
are
no
are you
ceiling
are
for me. By the
are you
time I'm
gonna
50,
go up? Are you gonna go up far enough to be the CEO or to
yeah,
be like one of the biggest executives?
yeah, absolutely. By the time
You
I'm
think
50, I'm gonna be. I don't want to say it. I'm gonna be butt naked on an island somewhere with my boo. That's what I'm gonna be doing at 50. I
on
will
Love
be.
Island?
Yeah,
Right.
I love island with my boo. We gonna have some exotic. Yeah, some. You know, you know. That's what I'm be doing. Yeah, I don't have a ceiling for myself. Like I have really, 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 really big goals. But I think I've just like, discovered them recently because I am still young. I'm old. I don't want to tell these people my age, but I'm still young. So, I don't think that right now there's a ceiling for me. Like I think I can still do whatever I feel,
So, so go ahead, Steve. You was gonna say something.
No, I was gonna say that's why I'm on the fence about if race really plays a part in everything. Because I have worked at jobs where I can't lie, like Hispanic people, if you're in that position of power, they look out for their people. Like I've seen it, and it didn't always necessarily come down to he's just a better worker. But I've worked in big places where you know a Spanish man may have been the manager, and he was looking out for all his people. They get the hours, you get promotions, and there'd be a person right there like me. Like I always work hard wherever I work, like regardless of what I'm doing. But I might not have had the same opportunities as him because he looking out for his people first. But like I said, it's not always like that. That's why I'm in between. I'm still on the fence about this topic. Like it
So,
does it does play a part a lot of the times though, especially in the workplace.
so why is it so easy for us as black people to say it's not about race, right? You notice that a lot of times, and y'all tell me what y'all think. We're the only race that doesn't stick together.
we I was just talking to my mom about that because you'll see, oh my goodness, I'm so happy about that. You will see any black person doing good or just something, and then you'll see a bunch of black people in the comments just tearing them down, tearing them down, tearing them down. And I hate that. I was literally just talking to my mom about that like 3 days ago. Like black people don't stick together at all. I hate to see it, and I hate to say it because it's like, you know, white people stick together. Shoot, always helping they friend's son get a job and do this, that, and the third. Black people don't like to stick together that often. I don't even like to say it, but that's the truth for real.
Why
I
why
hate
you
that
think
premise.
why you think we got Donald Trump as president?
Oh, don't get me
Think
started
about
on
that. Think about that. Like when, because you know I'm a nerd, so when you go back and look at the numbers and the data and all of that,
that.
if black people would have come out and voted the same way they voted for Joe Biden, we have a black woman as president.
I
But
think the
then,
fact that it was a woman intimidated a lot of people, though.
Mm.
but also you have black people saying she wasn't black because she part Indian.
She's a black woman,
But
and,
you, but
hopefully she runs again because that was my first time voting. So I was really hoping that she won. I was up to like 3 a.m. watching it. First time vote, you get a little excited. I told all my friends to get out and vote for her, and she just didn't win. I see Trump went, oh, heart dropped. It's terrible. He's done nothing good. What else has he done except release some sneakers and say he gonna do, like, what he does though? He tries to wheel the black people into the stereotypes of what black people like. Like I just seen something about him making like a new law for like marijuana or something like that. And then, he thought those sneakers would be a good thing, like I see what he's trying to do, and I take it offensive. Not me personally, of course, but as a black person, it's offensive that he thinks those type of things are gonna make us, get on his side a little more. I don't like that man. I don't like that
But
man at all. I have
but
nothing
but
good
it
to say about him.
and the crazy thing is it didn't work,
It didn't.
right? When it didn't work at all. Like we just didn't come out to vote.
Yeah.
And so, but you look at what you're talking about, right? Even for black people and everybody out there, I don't even know if I enabled the chat. I don't think I enabled the chat for folks. But even for black people, um, think about it this way. Um, everything we talk about is also about race.
Mhm.
Right? Look at what you said Trump was doing stuff for stereotypical stuff, and then you said marijuana. Right? You associated black people with marijuana.
I didn't associate, but like that's the stereotypical thing that he was trying to do. Like I see it. Me personally, I don't connect black people. I mean, maybe just a little bit, but like maybe just a little bit, because But
So that
I'm just trying to see through. I'm seeing through what he's doing. That's all I was seeing. You gonna make
but
the black
you
people hate me? What are you doing?
but you could I'm not making the black people hate you. They're not gonna hate you. I mean, let's be honest, we all do it, right? All right. Put it like this.
You too?
Well, all of us do it. We all do it. Everything is about race for us. But watch this.
Oh no,
When
I
it
thought you were
comes
saying
to
you smoke weed. Oh, I was like, what you
no,
talking
I don't
about?
smoke weed.
I don't know.
You know what?
I'm about to bring up something. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it when we get
Nah.
off later. I'm gonna save
No,
it.
I'm gonna tell no. She spent all of high school talking about I smoke crack.
No, his friend had came to school and told us he was the biggest, meanest crack dealer in Brooklyn back in the
No,
day.
he
Girl.
didn't. I'm about to take back the whole favorite thing. I think I hate you now.
That's please. You've been saying that.
Never. I never smoked crack. Don't listen to her. We gonna
All right,
bring
my
Mel on
bad.
here and he's gonna tell the truth. I ain't never smoked crack. But
Right, right,
but
right.
but watch this. Everything we do, right? When we talk about the most negative things, who do you associate it with? When you talk about criminality, you talk about drugs, you talk about lack of education, you talk about poverty, who do you immediately think about?
Hey, think about black people.
So when you everything in society, when we start talking about negative stuff, you automatically think about black people, but you're telling me stuff is not about race. When you think about positive stuff, money, vacations, fancy cars, big houses, who do you think about?
Black people.
You a whole lie.
I'm not a whole lot.
You
You know,
want to think about black people.
no, you know what though? I have met so many black people doing so good. Like black people really having it right now, Mr. Lopez. Like for real, like
It's true. I don't
they're having
disagree.
it right now. So
I don't
no, I'm gonna
disagree.
say black people too.
But who do
I
you
only
but
think about
okay.
black people.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So watch this. When I said that I'm married to a woman from Greenwich, what was the first question?
Right? Is she white? Right,
Is
right,
she white? All right. So it's the association. Look, Stephen grew up in Greenwich.
Mhm.
Like talk. Come on, Steve. You gotta talk to us about it. Talk to us about it.
I mean, yes, for the most part,
right. How is that
it's
growing up?
a
I haven't heard a lot of black
it's
people growing up in Greenwich.
it's definitely different because like I explained to my uncle, yeah, I grew up in Greenwich and all that. So to see that, and then my father's from Stanford, So I was back and forth as a kid, like all the time. But it's a whole different ball game. I could definitely say that. Like elementary school, I mostly went to school with whites, but they weren't necessarily rich whites. I'll consider them middle class if you want to say that. But it wasn't until I hit middle school that I really was like, oh, okay, like these are some of the more bougie people of the area type. Like I was going to Central Middle School, so you know how that is. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a little different than when you go into Julian Curtis. Like it's a lot. That Julian Curtis was a diverse elementary school, so I didn't really feel that yet until I got to middle school. That's the first time I actually ever got called an N word. Was in middle school. So like,
Somebody
but
called
I
you
didn't deal
Nancy?
with those. What happened?
Somebody called you Nancy?
Yeah, I got suspended for a couple of days after
No, the
that.
N-word. What
That
they called you Nancy?
yeah, let's just say they call me Nancy. Yeah,
Why black people always afraid to say the word nigga?
I just didn't want to me say it right here on the podcast and really get too deep into that. But yeah,
It,
they somebody went there.
and,
Yeah, I've
and
never heard.
so
I haven't heard of a lot of Black people tell their experience about growing up in Greenwich. Like, it's. I don't want to say it's like unheard of, but in a way, it is.
But also for me, it's tricky too because our small neighborhood, it wasn't really white people in our neighborhood. But when you leave that little neighborhood, yes, the surrounding area they white, but he'll tell you like that small little complex that we grew up in, that was not white people. Like we
Mhm.
grew up around people of our color, so we went to
nah,
school with these people.
nah, there was some white people there.
There was
So
Some,
you
definitely
have.
some white
not
people
So when
there.
you grew up, you had like a lot of Black friends, or like not really.
A lot of black friends for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was never really like the type, like the Vineyard Vines type. Like I don't open toe sandals. I'm for me, it's not me. Like
You look like an
it's
open
not
toe
me.
sandals type of guy.
Nah, nah.
like while he
But
watching
yeah, I
Love
got some
Island.
white friends. I got some white
Right?
friends.
You watching Love Island in the backyard with your open toe sandals,
On the patio, having a time.
Making a white claw.
smoking marijuana. Nah,
See
but
how you
I
got.
mean, look, but I mean, everything y'all are saying, y'all are not disproving this idea that race is somewhere in everything. Now, I'm not saying that you're looking at everybody and saying, okay, this person's racist, that person's racist. I'm not saying that, right? Because I think everybody's racist in the sense that I think we all have racist ideas, right? Racism, and we could get into it, but racism isn't this thing, right?
Mhm.
Racism comes from racist ideas, and the action on those ideas to me becomes racism, right? All of us have ideas about black people based on what we've been assimilated into. So when black people are like, oh, I can't be racist, yes, you can. You're just racist against your own people. I
Mhm.
mean, let's just be honest. Like you said, anytime when black people get ahead, who's the first one to try to tear them down or not support them or say you charging too much money and all this other kind of stuff? It's us.
So you think Black people could be racist?
Yeah, 100%. Because just racist ideas, right? Racism really hurts when it hurts the most when the people who have power over the resources act on those racist ideas.
Mhm.
But there's this whole thing called internalized racism in psychology. We have all of these ideas about ourselves already in us, in our psyche, in our psychology, in our makeup, and we act on those things.
Mhm.
It takes a lot for you to say, um, I can do something different than what society says I can do. Right? When you start saying, "Oh, I can't live in Greenwich. There's too many white people there," or stuff like that, or I can't have this, or I can't have that. I mean, but even you see a group of black dudes walking down a block at whatever o'clock at night with hoodies, and you can't see them.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
clutching
I'm
my
gonna be scared.
pearls.
I'm clutching everything. So I mean, but we do all of these things, right? So y'all aren't proving me wrong. I'll give you another one. If you're online at all now on social media, you see this thing called black fatigue.
Mhm.
And so now white people are starting to post black fatigue. Anytime there's a black person that's complaining about something or something happens, they put black fatigue. I'm tired of black people. I'm tired of the way they act, all this other kind of stuff. Where's that coming from?
I
Oh,
think
y'all silent now.
when you say where's it coming from, what do you mean? Like what people are is it coming from, or like
I mean, we know the people is coming from, but it's a simple video, right? It's this ideology about race. People
okay.
see us. Anybody that says I'm colorblind is a liar, right? Let disclaimer, people, if you have friends who are not tinted, who don't have melanin in their skin, and they say, I don't see color, stop talking to that person immediately.
For
No, I
what
agree
though?
with you on that. I agree with you on that. But
You said that's because they don't see you. And if they see you, then it triggers something inside of them. And so in order for them not to have that stuff triggered, they have to not see your skin.
Mm, I wouldn't. You what? So you supposed to cut somebody off because they say they don't see color?
I don't see color. That person, I'm not talking to you. I can't do it. I don't see color. Nope, nope. If I walked in and you didn't see this brown skin, then something's wrong. I get what they're trying to say, but I need you
Okay.
to see my color. I need you to see that I'm a black guy that walked in the room, because I need you to understand that as a black guy that walked in the room, there's certain things that are going to happen to me. Y'all know, in any room I walk into, I'm most likely the most educated person in the room. I have 3 degrees, and I'm working on my doctorate. And I'm not tooting my own horn because I don't care about
Oh,
stuff like
you
that.
are. Oh, you are.
I might be
But
flexing
go
a little
ahead.
bit
But
right
go
now.
ahead. Go
All right,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I might be stunting a little bit right
Go
now.
ahead. Go
But
ahead. Go ahead.
at the end of the day, when they see my color, they're not associating those things.
Yeah.
When I wrote an article in the newspaper, it was a white person who walked up to my wife and said, "Oh, I saw your husband's article. That was great. Who helped him write it?"
mm,
Right? So, I mean, it was an article in the newspaper. How are you going to say it came down to race? They assumed that I couldn't write
yeah,
because,
who helped them write it is crazy.
Yeah.
right? I walk into a space. I've been called in a school building. I've been referred to as monkey. Greenwich. I've had a employee, a coworker say, "Oh, I love living in this town in Greenwich because it's diverse. It's got diversity, but but it's um but it's not integrated."
Mm.
Right? So I love the fact that y'all live here, but I love the fact that y'all don't live in my neighborhood or next to me even more.
Right.
Y'all still not telling me what, prove me wrong, please. Listen, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. So I mean, y'all help
You
me
know
out.
what
Maybe
though? You're switching my mind around, but you often do this. You know, like since I met you, you always just like everything. I'm the first thing I go with is never what I end with talking to you. You just always have some. I don't know. You be thinking. I ain't never think so hard until I started hanging around you for real. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. You switching my mind a little bit. I wish I had a debate with you because you know I love to debate with you.
oh, so you can't debate with me on this. All right, all right.
I, I think
Ma-
I think you might be getting it.
what come on, Mr. Wells. Come
I
on.
want to ask you a question. I was thinking about something. Because you actually grew up in that area. I was thinking about the movie Jungle Fever. I wanted to ask you a question. Like, for you being from Bed-Stuy, was that movie accurate as far as like there's an Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn, and like did y'all really were y'all like opposed to dealing with white women and all that? Like,
So there are neighborhoods in Brooklyn that are Italian and all the other kind of stuff. I'll bring up one neighborhood, and I'm not saying it's Italian, but Bensonhurst. I've
I
never
think
been
that's
to Bed.
actually the
Yeah,
neighborhood that was in the
I've
movie.
never been to Bensonhurst. I'm 45 years old. I've never stepped foot in Bensonhurst. I value breathing, right? And when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, um, they would kill you. You could get beaten to death over there.
Mm.
Or at the very least, you were getting assaulted and harassed. So, I mean, I think Jungle Fever, when we talk about white women, I think, and you know what, I don't hate to say this, but it's the truth. Black men have this thing for white women.
Not all black men.
Mm,
They do.
it,
All black.
I hate
I
that.
don't really
black
like
black
it.
men,
No.
black men, and I'm speaking generally, have this thing for white women. It's almost like the taboo thing, right? It's almost like I couldn't have it, and I'm just trying to find out what the psychology is behind this. And I'm not saying that black men and white women can't be together, whatever. Um, we know that I can tell you instances of black men that I know who are with white women that you get pulled over by the police and the police officer is checking on her. They're not pulling you over because you did something wrong. The police officer is just checking to make sure you ain't harassing her or you haven't kidnapped her or whatever it is. Or scenarios where black people have white kids or light-skinned, fair-skinned kids, and they're like, oh, people calling the cops like this person just kidnapped a kid. So I can't speak to, I don't think it was taboo in the sense that black men couldn't be with white women, but definitely the sisters want to know why you want to choose a white girl instead of one of your sisters. But at the same time, we could ask the sisters, well, y'all choosing white men too, right? So I mean,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Who?
or you choosing other people. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but
Like
let's be
who?
honest.
I wouldn't date a person if somebody put a gun to my head and said date them. They might as well kill me. What do we have to talk about? We have nothing in common. What is the
So
point
you
of
mean
that?
two people from two different races have nothing in common?
Nothing in
Oh,
common.
but it's not about race.
Mm.
I told you get to change my mind a little bit.
So I mean, I can't
When
even
I
I
came in
can't
here
even have
today, I was
so, but we do have things in common, right? And this is, I'll speak on.
like, what?
Let's start the.
In a romantic way, like you're just when you're dating somebody, you're supposed to have their back, and you're able to talk to them about anything.
You can't have somebody's back because they
If
white.
me, that's not what I'm saying. You try to switch my words around. I don't like that. Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I just couldn't see myself dating. Could you see yourself dating a white woman?
I
Marrying a
can't see
white woman?
myself dating or marrying anybody because I've been married to the love of my life for 23 years.
That's a
Shout out
good
Auntie.
answer. That's a good
And
answer. I like that
so,
answer.
and I will tell you on October 5th, I'm gonna give my shameless plug. In October 5th, it will be 27 years since we've been together.
Dang,
So, just
that's a
shout
long
out to
time.
my
How's
boo.
that?
Shout out to my wife.
27 years? How's that?
A lot of bumps and
I've been
bruises.
my girlfriend
Look,
for
she
3.
put up with me for 27 years. She deserves everything in the world. Like,
She does deserve everything in the world and
there's
some
a very
more.
hot place
Yeah,
there's a hot
if
place
you put
that's
it
waiting
if you
for
put it
you,
that way,
and some dude named Satan is standing with open arms waiting for Chanel.
yeah, if you put it that way, dealing with you, see, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
See?
you need to get her something big, something
See?
nice.
See how you act?
Anniversary coming. She deserves a
See how
lot.
you act?
By the way, we're doing this. I'm doing this podcast with him. He failed me right junior year. Let me just put that out there. He gave me a big fat F. I shouldn't be talking to this man.
Wait.
He gave me a big fat F.
Wait.
He failed me.
Think about it though.
What did I have you for a whole
A
year
whole
or a half
year.
year? Yeah, and I think I failed every
Why he
semester.
fail you though?
There you go.
I don't know. I
You
get bored.
are lie. Look, this is what she said to me.
I get
She
bored.
said,
Whether it's late, it's
I'm not gonna do any work in your class, but I'm never gonna miss your class.
Mm.
and I never came to his class high. I never went in there and misbehaved. Nothing. I think I should have got some brownie
No, she
points
had
for
one
that.
moment where I ain't let her eat her McDonald's in class and she got mad and stormed out
I
and
was so
slammed the
hungry.
door. But she came back and we talked about it.
Well, no, I think it was that time of the month, and it was just really not a good day. That's not what I wanted to hear, Steven. I ain't want to hear. I ain't want to hear none of that. Y'all understand because y'all not women, but when it's that time of the month and it's time to eat, and somebody tell you no, oh my God, you ready to kill somebody? For real, it's
So
serious.
was that another black person thing? Because she came to she had my class after lunch. So how you come after lunch with your food ready to eat?
The food came late. You know how DoorDash be. You know, I got a car now, so I don't got to
This is
worry
at
about that
Stanford
much
High.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that class, every minute of it. I was there for the conversation. That was pretty much it. He talked a lot, just like he talks a
She
lot
didn't hate my
now.
class.
He talked a lot.
She hated the work.
I did. I did. It was just, you know what though? I didn't hate the work. It's just not what I was used to because your system was like, you gave like college level work, I think, and you know the school and high school. And looking back on it, it really is baby work. So that was my first class to where I really had to, do a bunch of work. He wanted a 5-paragraph essay due at the end of each class. I'm like, nah, he's tripping. I was like, who do you think he is? Like,
No.
in my head, yes, 5-paragraph at like
5 paragraphs.
it was what was it? It was like a 5-paragraph essay, and then the paragraph had to be at least 5 sentences each. And you know, like when you that's not what you do for every other class. You're not used to that. You're like, nah, forget this. Like, who do you think he is? He a new teacher too. I'm like, he really, she was tripping. I wouldn't even recommend your class to the kids you have now. I think the best part of your class was like the conversation of it. The work, don't give it to me again. I would never do that. But like, I've never had such good class conversations, I think, in all my years of high school.
So
and he would get the whole class engaged. Kids who don't even talk, kids who don't even got no friends, kids who walk the halls quietly. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Once they started talking, they wouldn't stop. We would talk for a whole hour. What was those classes, like an hour and 30?
I know. Yeah.
At that point?
But
Yeah, we talking the whole
look,
time.
you trying to tell me that I'm gonna say two things. By the time I left Stanford High, by the time she graduated, I randomly had at least 5 to 10 kids in my room that did not belong in my class almost every period.
Every period. I got pictures from the I wish I could find it. Yeah, we got pictures in there. Yeah, we ain't never go to, well, I ain't gonna say we ain't never go to class, but when I ain't have a class, I was going in there eating my food, bothering his students,
Look,
because he a cool guy
she
though. I like him when I don't have him as a teacher. He's not my teacher. He's the coolest guy in the world. But when he's my teacher, I want no parts.
her
I want no
teacher
parts.
would let her come and do her work in my room.
Yeah. And I would tell her I'm not doing it unless I wasn't a bad kid in school. I feel like you're making
No,
me
you
sound
weren't bad,
bad.
but she would no. Like I tell people, if she was not coming to my classroom, she was not doing your work, and she was not going to graduate. Like simple.
And I got honors my senior year for the first time. That was fun, cool. Never done that before. And I give it on to Miss Lopez.
So you what?
But I would never have you as a teacher again. Like, I'm not honking your horn up. Like, I'm like for
So
real.
so what she's saying is that black kids and black schools don't get challenged,
They don't.
but it's not about race.
Well, there's white people at the school too. They get the same work material as us.
But they go to a school in what neighborhood?
We're Stanford High.
I mean, that's downtown, so like.
Yeah, school damn near
But what's the
downtown. What's it?
but watch this. So then you go back to this point, right? And Stephen, you could talk to this just because of where you grew up. White people who don't have money, that live in poorer communities, that are considered urban communities, which is code word for black and Hispanic, they don't have access to the resources either, and they are basically considered what? The only thing they have is their whiteness. And that goes all the way back to look at slavery, when enslavement was happening, right? The plantation bosses, they were poor. They lived almost like the slaves, And so when they were free, they still lived together, right?
Mhm.
And then they started voting together, and then they had power together. And then the white folks with money, because it was you had to be a white Christian Anglo-Saxon male, likely Protestant, and have money. That's how you had authority in back then. But if you weren't that and you didn't have money, you got treated like. And so when they started voting together and making communities together and doing all of this, they went to those people and said, listen, you're white. You're not black. If you want to act like them, then we'll treat you like them. But you're white. You should be voting with us. You have privilege because this is the idea of privilege, right? And so that's the only thing that separates poor white folks from everybody else. Look at Trump's people. They are poor white people who vote against their own interests every single time. And it comes down to them about race. I'm white. I'm not one of y'all. I'm not black. I'm not Hispanic. I'm white. This is my country. I'm white. Convince me, Stephen. You grew up with, you said you had white folks around you. And we know.
I know I'm looking at
Look,
Steven. He
look,
trying to think
there
of
are
it.
3 different housing complexes in Greenwich.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all hidden. And my good black folks from Greenwich didn't realize this till I told them. You can't see any of the housing complexes. They are tucked away in places where if you drive through Greenwich, you don't know where they are. And that's predominantly where all of the black people live. So people always go by and say, I didn't know there were black people in Greenwich. Wilbur Peck, Armstrong Court, Adams Garden. Adams Garden is the closest to being seen, but it's behind Walgreens up near exit 5.
Right.
You would never know it's on the other side of Walgreens. Right? Armstrong Court, they're doing it over. They put a lot of people out, but it's located by the bread factory and located next to the town dump. And Wilbur Peck is up a hill where you never get to it. On the other side of Wilbur Peck is the gated community.
Right on the other side, literally right over the fence.
Literally
That
behind the
always bugged
fence.
me out. That always bugged me out even as
I'm
a
not that
kid. Like
familiar.
you could literally hop the fence and be in another world. Like they had security roaming around. Like if they saw us walking through, because we used to sometimes hop the fence to walk that way to go to school. It was faster. But them security guards would just automatically see us and stereotype us like, "What are y'all doing over here? Y'all got to get out of here!"
Like you don't belong here,
Right,
even though you live in the same town
right,
and you just over the fence.
right over the fence.
Like literally, Chanel, literally over the fence.
Like you can
We
hang on the fence.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with
we
Greenwich.
looked at a house when we were looking for houses. We looked at a house in what is that called? Not Bellhaven. Bellhaven is where all the big money is. I can't remember what it'll come to me.
You got big
Nah.
money.
But we looked at a house in there in that private area, and literally I did not know that Wilbur Peck was right over the fence. And I saw it and I'm like, that's crazy.
I think that neighborhood is called Millbrook. I want to say.
Yeah, Millbrook.
Millbrook.
Millbrook. They have their own club, by the way. Tennis court, golf course.
They own club. They own security. It's really like a little gated community. Like
So the security guard was just upset that y'all were teenagers.
Yeah,
Though.
Greenwich is what, the richest state in
Actually,
the what
no.
isn't it the
Town?
richest? I said the richest state. Oh my god, the richest
No.
city. One
No.
of them.
Danbury. Not Danbury. Darien.
Darien.
Excuse me, Darien. But
Oh
Greenwich,
yeah, Darien
Greenwich
is
pays
street
the most in
houses.
taxes to the state. So most of the money for the state comes from Greenwich in terms of taxes.
Yeah, them
So-
people got a lot of old money in Greenwich too. Like
But Steve, because we got 10 minutes to go, right? So we got to
Mhm.
wrap. But explain to me then, you were a fence, just separated by a fence. And what was the reason for that separation?
I mean, they didn't want us together. I mean, like
They didn't want who together?
like you said, they tucked us away. We was in a little area. I mean, but right over the fence, they just they was living a completely different life than us. Like I'm talking about on my side of the fence, is people paying $50 rent. On that side of the fence, they probably got $1 million houses. But like, I don't. They just didn't. I mean, that definitely race definitely plays a part in this part of the conversation. Yes, like they did not want us to be together. That's why they had these big fences all around us. That's why they had us tucked away like that.
So that you don't get access to the same opportunities.
Right, right.
And that's what I'm saying. Even from a child, is access, right? And it doesn't play out every day where you're walking down the block and it's like, okay, you're black, you're white, you're Hispanic, whatever, right? It doesn't play out that way. It doesn't always play out in me and you went for a promotion and I got it because I was the better employee, because I've got more skills. But it plays out from the time you're born. It plays out that way, to the opportunities you get, to the way they see you. In 1979, in Greenwich, they were still putting Negro on people's birth certificates.
That's crazy.
Right? So, I mean, it plays out in from,
But
yeah, they did that. Like it literally said Negro.
When did that stop?
In Greenwich, 1980.
Dang, that's kind of
Yeah,
recent.
It is
that's
recent.
45 years ago.
Yeah, you've been around since what? You've been around since what, the 50s?
You know,
Yeah, you was around for that.
no, thank you very much. But that's what I'm saying, right? Just think about, you're not that far removed from 1965, the Voting Rights Act, which they're tearing apart right now. You're not that far removed from 1964, the biggest civil rights bill in the history of the country. That was what? How many years ago? 61 now? No, 51. 51 years ago?
This takes me back to a conversation we had. Remember when we was in
No,
the car
61. Yeah.
and you was telling me about how Greenwich had like a Crispus Attucks and all that. So you feel like they took all that stuff away to control our population and keep it just like straight up keep it white?
So it wasn't a big population. The two oldest churches in Greenwich are two black churches, right? An African Methodist Episcopalian church and a Baptist church. Those are the two oldest churches in Greenwich. In that historic district over by the hospital, that's where black people lived. That's where the black folk lived who worked in those big houses on Riversville Road and up in that section in backcountry Greenwich. They weren't allowed to leave that section to go out anywhere else, so they had their own community. They started the Crispus Attucks Center right in the basement of a church. That was for us. Greenwich had its own NAACP chapter. And that Crispus Attucks Center eventually becomes what now is essentially a homework program, which is what's the name of that program?
CCI or something else?
No, what's the name of that program that everybody used to go to after school?
CCI.
And they would CCI. Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought you said ECI.
No, CCI.
So yeah, so CCI, they took everything away from the cultural part of Crispus Attucks and just made it and defunded it. Actually, they took the funding away, and all it could become was a homework program. All of this is in the library in Greenwich, but I'm one of the only weirdos that went to go look this stuff up. Like everything about Greenwich and all of this is in the library. There's a whole section. But where do they hide stuff that they don't want people like us to know? In books. So, and where do you get outdated books as black people? In school.
Where do we get? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get into reading more actually, because I'm really not like, I don't want to say I'm not a big reader, because then I don't know, it just sounds like I'm miseducated or something, but I'm just not like, like I'm working all the time and just a lot to do, but I am trying to read more, like for sure. Because even that book you gave me, like half the stuff in that book I had no idea about. And there's a bunch of stuff I have no idea about. So, just gotta keep educating myself on these types of things.
What book did I give you? As a matter of fact, because I'm a nerd, it's right here. So Stamped from the Beginning.
My mom took it
And
afterwards
this is
too.
by Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. This you're gonna find a bunch of actual history, and where he talks about the idea of racist ideas as opposed to racism. Um, so all the history is in this book. You can find it there. And then I have there's another book that you should read called Stolen Legacy,
Mm.
and
What's
it
that one
talks
about?
about ancient Kemet, which is what Egypt was before they call it Egypt, and how it is that the Greek philosophers, or all of the stuff that we think that philosophy started with, with Aristotle and these people, that's not true. As a matter of fact, nobody took them seriously. They went to ancient Kemet and learned from Kemetan priests, and none of them stayed as long as they were supposed to, but they stole all of this stuff, and basically we're now giving credit to them for flawed things that they do, that they basically, their foundation was from us. They burned our stuff. They burned the library at Alexandria, right? They bought up all of these things, all of these books, all of this knowledge, put it in the library. They burned it all up. So but it talks about that. But anyway, we got to wrap, obviously, but I don't want anybody to walk away thinking that we're saying that people are racist, because that's not what we're saying.
Yeah, no. No,
Right?
not at all.
Let's be honest. There are some racist people. We know that. But at the
Of
end of the
course.
day, it coming down to race is just the simple fact that as Black people, we always have to be on our P's and Q's. It's true. We
Yeah.
always have to be 10 times better than somebody who doesn't look like us, just to get the same opportunities that they get. And so when you talk about whether it's in sports, right? They're paying these kids millions of dollars to run up and down a basketball court, but they won't let them get ownership in most things.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, you got a $30 million contract, you're getting paid $50 million a year, but what can you do with that $50 million?
After you're done, it's like you're done.
How many of us are broke after that? I mean, Magic Johnson was able to flip it, but who did Magic have to get in the rooms with? Shaq. Shaq likes to talk about he owns everything. The truth is Shaq doesn't own everything. Shaq owns minority ownership stakes in a portfolio of different things. So it's like Shaq buys into something and it's a whole portfolio of different businesses, and he likes to say, I own. That's not ownership, right? You're a minority investor.
I see. I think Kenny, I think he was just saying like Shaq owns a bunch of stuff. So I have to look that up. And I was like, I looked at it and he's definitely a minority owner, but the way they were saying it, like he owns stuff. He owns JC Penney and all this other stuff.
What about his shoes though? Does he have full ownership of those?
I don't know. I don't
Nobody
know.
with no Shaqs.
He did make
no
millions off them though. He did make millions off them.
Who's investing in Shaqs?
I mean, it's just he made them for the people who were less
But they were
level. I guess you
Reeboks,
want to
though.
say there's $20. There's affordable.
Mr. Lopez looked like he wears Shaqs. I ain't wearing no Shaqs. No disrespect to Shaq. You know, he got more money than I do. But them shoes not it. It looked like a Jordan that's on like a, like on a crack rock or something. I don't know why it's leaning like that. I don't know.
Look, at the end of the day, and that's why, you and I, and I'll talk about this as we go. You and I fussed for at least 2-3 years about you going to college. And I said, it's not even about going to a 4-year school. Go to a community college and just get a taste of it. If you don't like it, you don't want to do it, drop it. But don't cheat yourself and say, no, I'm not going to go. Because the way that the world is set up is you have to go get some type of something. And that could be trade school. That could be anything. But after high school, you need to do something, right? And so I'm happy that after all this fussing and fighting that you're going to go take that step. But at the end of the day, every time that we got something,
like literally for 2 years, like on my pack about it, like, oh, just go to school, just try it out.
Look, I even had her set up where she didn't even have to go through a process. Like University of Bridgeport sent her stuff and said, we're gonna do your own personal tour. Just fill out the application and you're in. Period. Right? We don't care what your grades, none of
But
that.
then I moved
Then
to
she moved to
Virginia.
Virginia.
I moved to Virginia. I did move to Virginia. I'm back in Connecticut now, though. But I mean, eventually, I mean, after I did my 2 years of community college, I mean, I'll go to UB. Like, I don't have any, you know. It was just at that time, like, I wasn't ready to be out of school because I'm just moving, like, to a whole different state. Like, I'm trying to get myself together. Yeah, I hated every second down there for all my Virginia people, Richmond. I don't know how y'all do it. It's country.
We are not going to
It's
disparage
country.
the good people in the DMV. Leave them good folks alone.
The North is better if y'all watch.
I can't
You know,
disagree. But all right, so
just like,
look,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, you can see running across the bottom of your screen. Follow us at A Kid from Brooklyn podcast on YouTube and Facebook. It literally is at A Kid from Brooklyn podcast. We're going to be up on YouTube tomorrow, so you'll be able to catch this replay. And we're going to be on Apple Podcasts and all those things. We're going to broadcast twice a month. So this is our first. We're going to hit you with the first weekend and the whatever the second weekend comes in the month. But I don't know how y'all feel about this. This is their first time podcasting, by the way.
I feel great. I'm very excited. I know I'm like a little nervous, but you know, just a little bit, not
First
too
15
much. Because
minutes
you know, I
is rough,
ain't
but
me.
you know,
All
we
right.
here. I think we got something we can really do.
We do. And next week, or next time, we're gonna add in the chat because I didn't activate the chat where people can actually engage with us, ask questions, and get in on the conversation. So it's more interactive.
He a little old. He figured it out.
You know what? I've been trying to figure out who I didn't like today, and it's now you.
It's not me.
All right, y'all. We out of here. I don't even know how we should close the show just by saying peace. Bye. I don't know.
Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
What should we say? We gotta come up with
We'll
something.
come up with something. All right.
We'll come up with something.
Peace. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, y'all.